Live TV, the future in your hands. The only multicultural IPTV station that brings communities together. Over 2.7 million people have already watched. Go Live TV, anytime, anywhere.
Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Show. Happy New Year, everyone. All right, thank you so much for being here. It is so exciting to be back live at the Go Live Studios, and I am your host, Nikki Clarke. You're here at the Nikki Clarke Show. The show is about transforming lives one story at a time. We invite people from all walks of life to come and share their heart stories, their stories of upliftment and transformation, and trying to make a difference one story at a time. And I am so excited to be back. It's a new year, new attitude, new vibe, and we're bringing some incredible people here on the stage to change your lives with their experiences. So to set the night right, we have an incredible young lady. She's making waves in the community. She is a real estate broker. So please put your hands together for Jayden Kennedy.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, and to the audience.
Awesome. So I read your bio, and you're just you're making so many waves in the business community, and you're changing lives. The legacy you're leaving by helping people find their own homes.
Yes.
Sometimes, for the very first time, you're helping them acquire a home, and that's a big deal.
Yes.
Right? So tell me a little bit about your background leading up to what you're doing right now.
For sure. So my name is Jayden Kennedy, as we said, and I played elite sports my entire life. And I was lucky enough to get a full ride scholarship to play volleyball in California. And that is where I met a lot of people who actually built wealth through real estate. So I had some conversations with my friends back home, and I said, hey, have you guys ever really looked at building wealth through real estate? And most people saw it more as a liability.
Right.
So I said, okay, there's definitely opportunity for learning here. So after I played professional overseas, I decided to come back home, get my real estate license, and really make it my duty to educate people and make confusing terms easily digestible so that people can normalize financial conversations at the dinner table.
Okay, I like that, because real estate can be very daunting for some people to understand.
100%. Like, there's a lot of even contracts. A lot of people have never even dealt with a contract before that's legally binding, and it's really imperative that someone has support from someone who specializes in that type of transaction.
Okay, so tell us about the real estate investment. Like, what's behind it?
Yeah, so it's very important, in my opinion, to invest in real estate, because 9 out of 10 millionaires create their wealth through real estate, right? Okay. And especially now we're seeing the crazy interest rates and what's happening in the market, and you want to ensure that you have the stability of knowing that you're going to be able to have a roof over your head.
Yes.
If you're a renter right now, a lot of people are on edge because their landlords, either they have to sell the property or they're going to move into the property because of what's going on. Right. And through owning the real estate as opposed to simply renting, you have that peace of mind of knowing that, hey, you know what? Not only is this a roof over my head, but it's an investment.
Okay, excellent. So what do you see are the trends in real estate right now?
Yeah, so I would say that last year we saw a crazy, peak, and that's because we had such low interest rates. But now we're starting to see interest rates going up a little bit, which is actually creating more of a balanced market. So before, buyers were bidding on a property that would have 10, 15 offers on it. You weren't able to protect yourself by putting a financing condition or an inspection condition to potentially be released of the deal in the event that something is off. Whereas now, because there is less demand, there's a lot more opportunity to protect yourself and put these conditions in. And also, you can get a house for a discount. Before, you could get, a house for, say, $1 million, and because the average house has gone down by, say, $200,000, your neighbor bought for $1 million, you bought for $800,000, so you have that $200,000 to sort of work with.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, it's great
very
news. It's
encouraging.
great news. And people think that because we are seeing less demand in the market, that we're seeing a crash. It's not necessarily a crash. I would say it's more of a correction. And we're simply not seeing as many people in the market right now because interest rates are so high. So it's not that there's less demand. It's just that there's a less amount of people who are actually able to qualify to purchase a home,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. It does. It does. So I have a question from my hairdresser, Matthew Jonathan. He wanted to ask you this specific question. When are the rates going to go down?
When are the rates? That is a great question. So we did just see them go up by 0.25 this week. I think that we might see 1 or 2 other rate hikes throughout the year. And then maybe I would say 2024 is when we'll start to see rates go down. But I think 2023 is just going to be a year of slight increases and more of a balancing way to see where inflation is at. And once we see inflation going down, that's when we're going to start to see rates go down a little bit.
So the balancing act.
The balance, exactly, exactly.
So tell me some of the maybe 1 or 2 myths about real estate that we should know.
For sure. So I would say number one is if you are buying a property, people are under the impression that you actually have to pay for the realtor when you're using their services, and that's actually not the fact. So if you are purchasing a property, it's actually the seller who is paying for the services of your realtor. And that's imperative that you use a realtor because you get protections, etc. And then I'd also say that you need 20% down. You don't actually need 20% down to purchase a property. You can put as low, so you can put as low as 5% down. Okay. If you are, say, purchasing it as an investment property explicitly, you will need 20%, or if you're, say, an entrepreneur. But aside from that, you can leverage 5% down.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yes.
Now, what about people who want to buy a home for the first time and maybe they've encountered some, some hardships, some challenges, and they may have what people call maybe bruised credit?
Yes. Yes.
Can they still buy a home?
If you have bruised credit, you can definitely still buy a home. You're just that's one of the main things that I tell people when they start thinking about investing in real estate or purchasing real estate is number one, you have to make sure that you're set up financially. So that's number one, through savings, and number two, ensuring that you have a good credit score. If your credit isn't too strong, you can always talk to a financial advisor. They can support you. But I do just want to mention that one myth is that people are under the impression that checking your own credit score hurts your credit. It doesn't. That's considered a soft pull. And it's considered a hard pull when a lender or a third party is looking to lend you money, and that's when it hurts your score. So I don't know how often you check your credit score, but I'm checking mine at least once a week, and it will not negatively impact your score.
Why do you check every week?
I just like to stay on top of my credit. But honestly, the number you're looking for is 680 plus. As long as you have over 680, you're going to have access to the best lenders. So if you have 800 or 700, it really doesn't make a difference. And I think a lot of people are very obsessed with having perfect credit. You don't need perfect credit to get access to the best rates when it comes to purchasing a property.
As long as it's over 680.
As long as you're over 680, you will get access to the majority of lenders. Yeah.
That's very good to know.
And the best rates.
And when people come and visit you,
yes.
To enter their journey
yes.
of home ownership, what are some of the things that you take them through to assess them?
Well, number one, I want to make sure that they are educated on everything. That's including the contract. So we're going to look inside and out of the contract, make sure they understand everything that they're getting themselves into. And then I'll sort of explain the key things that I look for in a property. So number one, I always tell people your first property is not your forever home, right? So use your first home as a stepping stone towards your goal. Once you've created some equity via putting your own sweat equity into it, or just the market appreciating, take some of that money out and purchase another property. So it's all about leveraging your investment. And then simply, I always like to say, buy the worst house on the best street as opposed to the best house on the worst street, because come resale, you just want to make sure that it still has that value. And if you're in an area that, say, doesn't have the best school district, you're going to be losing a lot of potential buyers because they want to ensure that their child goes to a school in a good area.
That's
so
fantastic.
Those are a couple of the tips I give them.
Pearls of wisdom from you.
Thank you
so much. And where
you.
can people locate you?
People can find me on social media. Everything is Jayden Kennedy Real Estate. That's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Yeah.
Even on TikTok?
Even on TikTok. I use TikTok too. So.
Okay, doing a little real estate choreography?
Yes. Hey, you guys can go on. I do some dance videos with my brother. I do a couple of trends, and then I also teach a little bit about real estate too.
Is that true, Mom? She's nodding yes. Yes, she's seen it.
Very
awesome.
true.
Well, thank you so much, Jayden. I learned a lot from you.
Thank you.
And so I'd love to learn more about all that you've shared.
Thank you.
So we'll connect
Jayden
again.
Kennedy Real Estate.
Jayden Kennedy Real Estate.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Please, Jayden Kennedy. Check her out on social media. We'll be back.